GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
Ryan was supposed to be back from rehab, but Pippin still ain't easy for him. We are live on Twitch. As always, Heavy G, thank you so much for following, for coming on tonight. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me again. I love to talk wrestling with you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on. And anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let's plug, while we're waiting for Chip, let's plug the other podcast that we're on.
Sure, that is the Best Darn Sports Show, period 2, recorded on Thursday nights. Hopefully, we're going to be on both Facebook and Twitch. This Thursday coming up is a big event. It's actually a half like 10% regular show, 90% fantasy football draft. I think we have 8 people in our league. I believe
nothing fancy. I think it's just a standard league.
It's just a standard league.
I'm gonna draft terribly.
I always draft terribly.
I've done mock drafts. I actually have another draft I'm in on Sunday. For a buddy of mine. This one's for money, and that's like a 16 team.
Oh wow.
PPR dynasty. It's like everything. I'm like, dude, I just want like a fantasy football league, man.
Yeah.
I'm in 2 league. I'm having my reservations being in 1. Now I'm going to be in 2. So
I'm not big. But I mean, as much as I love stats, I'm not really. I mean, I look at the stats and stuff, but just to pick. So I always seem to pick the guys that get hurt week 1 or 2. Or have a down or having a horrible first half. I get rid of them. Someone picks them up, and then they go gangbusters. And
yeah,
that's just my luck with the fantasy football. But I still enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun.
What a mark!
So nice you to join us.
Shut up, guys. What's up?
Okay, so we were
sorry about that. I had to run an errand with the daughter, and then we had to get dinner because we were starving. So, all right, where are we at?
We were just actually plugging our show and just talking some sports. But we're live on Twitch, so we're actually going to start our show right now, even though I already recorded it. Welcome, everyone, to the wrestling show. I'm the Fatman. Still no Sleazy. He's still in rehab. I don't know when he's going to get out. Still no Ryan. He's also still in rehab. Brandon looks like he's going to be going into rehab. Chip almost went to rehab tonight. So that's why I brought in Heavy G to be my sidekick tonight. So,
hey.
But the Mark showed up. So
The Mark always shows up when he says he's going to.
Well, you're about 15 minutes late there, buddy. But karma.
Instant.
But thank you guys again. My voice, I explained it on Twitch, what's going on with me. But let's get into the show. Tonight we have 2 shows to preview, and we're going to do our top 5 all-time favorite wrestlers. This is not based
10.
on or 10. It is 10. I apologize. It is 10. Top 10 all-time favorite wrestlers. This is not who you think had the most 5-star matches. Fuck Dave Meltzer. This is pretty much kind of like last week's show, the wrestlers that kind of made us fans and stuck with us, and some new school wrestlers might be on these lists also. You do have Sleazy's list from Rehab, right, Chip?
I do. Yes, I do. Indeed.
Okay. Brandon and Ryan couldn't even bother because fuck them. Let's start. You could do any order. You could do 10 down or just name off wrestlers. I'm going to do 10 down.
You know, Sleazy just wrote dissertations on every single one.
Of course he did. I don't know how he gets. I mean, he has so much time in rehab. So I mean, it's
just writing away. And
he's not the writer of the group. I am actually. So it's just so weird. Okay, everyone's number 10. Let's go with
Well,
Sleazy.
actually, we have honorable mentions as well.
Okay, yep. Go ahead. Do honorable mentions.
Okay, Sleazy's honorable mentions are as follows. I have to remember his real name. Honorable mentions: Richard Justice, Super Cop, Dick Justice. I would not be in the business if it wasn't for him. Jeff Hardy, his legal troubles don't preclude him from being a top favorite of mine. Played the underdog perfectly. Orange Cassidy, one of the true undervalued guys on any show, super funny and super athletic. Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania for a reason.
Whoa. Shawn Michaels is in his honorable okay.
Wow.
I said I was not going to shit on anyone's list, but fuck you.
Wow.
I want to see I know what number 1 is, but I want to see what fucking answers are in his fucking list.
Oh, I'm not done with his honorable mentions. He's still got like 4. But the thing is I'm sitting there and I was reading his. I was just like, oh, okay. Of course, a lot I don't know because I don't have the connections you all do, and haven't been watching his on. Okay, next is The Rock.
Okay, yep.
A guy that had all the tools for entertaining me, great matches, great moments, and was funny as hell. Funny as well. Bailey, his favorite horsewoman by far. She's one of those talents that made people wake up and see women's wrestling as legit, and I fully agree with that. And she wasn't
the worst horsewoman. I got to shit on that.
Yeah,
the worst horsewoman, of course.
You're gonna say the best horsewoman is gonna be Charlotte Flair, I would think.
Oh no, you're dead wrong.
Oh, you think it's Becky?
No, he thinks it's Sasha.
You don't know me. That's right. I'm a Sasha mark. I mean, it's years. I mean,
okay. All right. Next is Mick Foley.
Okay.
Hilarious guy, super crazy in the ring. Always enjoyed whatever he was doing. Okay, number 10. Or do you want to hear my?
Let's do honorable mentions. Do honorable mentions. I have a few myself.
Okay, we'll go with yours then.
I have. Well, by the way, I am going to clap for Dick Justice because I love Dick.
Sorry, heard.
That's a thing. If you've been to any show with Super Cop, just Dick Justice, the whole crowd just chants, "We love Dick." And even before his matches, they chant, "We want Dick." So it's a blast. And I'm not a comedy wrestler guy, but Dick was just so great. And sad to see that he's not in the business anymore. He's such. I borrow a line from Sleazy. He's a great group of guy. Excuse me. And Mark Up and Orange Cassidy. Got to work with both of them. They're just absolutely fantastic people. My honorable mentions, which may shock you, Sasha Banks is not in my top 10, but she is an honorable mention.
That's kind of shocking.
And obviously, this is I'm the newest person that's on my list is Kevin Steen / Owens. Again, mark out being able to. I haven't worked with him, but meeting his son Owen, being able to get to know them on a personal level, and being able to see where he's come from to where he is now is absolutely fantastic. Those are really my only. Oh, and The Rock also. But those are my 3 honorable mentions.
All right, I'll go. I only have 2. I'm more of probably more of the old school guy of the group. My first honorable mention is Tully Blanchard. I think as a pure chicken shit heel, I don't think you can get any better. I mean, the brashness. I mean, but even before he was with the Horsemen, he had J.J. Dillon as manager as he was a solo act. I thought he was fantastic back then, and just enhanced the Horseman. Was basically the I wouldn't say the workhorse, but really put in the time to get the horse. Just that guy you just wanted to hate. You just wanted to see him get the shit kicked out of him every week. My second one is a current wrestler, and it's Claudio Castagnoli. I think his physical prowess is just strength. He's a very solid performer, and I think I've liked him. And when I saw him, I saw him with Cesaro in WWE. I went back to see some of his earlier matches when he was in Ring of Honor, when he was in PWG. And I know I'm going to get this, fuck Chikara, but he just has always just seems always professional, always right, doing the right thing for any company he's worked for. So those are my two.
Okay, I actually got 5, but I'm not going to really give explanations. 1, 2, 3 Kid or Sean Waltman. He was one of the first guys that I watched. Kid and all of that with him coming out in Minnesota and wrestling Razor Ramon from being a no-namer. I'm gonna get shit on for this, but I don't care. Old school Kenny Omega. Not new school. When he first came into the industry, Kenny Omega. Will Ospreay, Justin Credible from ECW. He was able to pull off multiple personas and roles, and that's where my number 10 will lead into as well. And Razor Ramon. Those are my honorable mentions. Or Scott Hall. Rest in peace.
I didn't even think of him either.
I have one more. I wrote it down. I can't believe I didn't even fucking say it as an honorable mention. Eddie Guerrero.
I didn't even think of him either. Shit.
I literally have his name written down right here.
I literally thought of him on the way to drop my daughter off and then totally forgot about when I wrote my list up.
Okay, let's do number 10.
Okay, well, Sleazy went Barrister R.D. Evans, Archibald Peck.
Okay.
I don't know who he is. Never heard of him. But one of my favorite comedic wrestlers of all time, Robert Evans, is a comedic timing genius and knew exactly how to get a laugh out of a room. The stuff he did in Chicago is Archibald Peck to the Barrister and ROH. He was just so good.
Yeah, I was going to say ROH and Chikara, yeah. My number 10 is the greatest wrestler never to be a world's heavyweight champion. And if you know me, you know who that is. It's Arn Anderson. The guy can talk. The guy can wrestle. He was unselfish. He's just absolutely fantastic.
My number 10 is probably one of the very few, if not the only, wrestler that was a babyface his whole career, and that would be Ricky Steamboat. He had legendary matches wherever he went. He had legendary matches with Savage WrestleMania 3. Of course, we know the trilogy with Ric Flair.
Greatest trilogy of all time.
Yes, definitely. You can put those matches on today, and you'll draw a rating. I remember when he was a tag team partner with the Natural Dustin Rhodes, and he was the mystery partner going up against, I believe it was Arn Anderson and Larry Zbyszko to win the title. And to me, the most beautiful arm drag in the history of wrestling. Just everything he did was fluid. It meant something, and could sell. It could sell like anything. So my number 10, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Okay,
my number 10 is Papa Shango, the Ultimate Fighting Machine.
Your number 10 is Ryan.
Charles Wright.
Awesome.
It is Charles Wright.
The Godfather.
The Godfather. He had
the Good Father.
I was trying to remember what his right to censor name was. Yeah, the Good Father. I like being an actor. Anyone that can switch personas just like that and be able to pull it off is fucking phenomenal to see. And that's why I chose Just Incredible in my honorable mentions, because he did it as Portuguese Man of War, along with ECW's Just Incredible. Yep. And then Charles Wright, able to go from Papa Shango to the Ultimate Fighting Machine.
I just remember Bobby Heenan's commentary. He has a jock strap on his face.
All right, I'll go first for number 9. My number 9, one of the few stars who never went from the NWA to the WWF at the time, now WWE, Nikita Koloff, number 9. He was I fell in love with him with his Best of 7 with Magnum. They turned him face after the car wreck. Loved him then, but then I don't know if you've ever heard of the series My Side of the Story. Mm-mm. It's a DVD of great feuds like Nikita Magnum. I also got Tito Santana, Greg Valentine. What they do is they interview them separately with the same question, and to see they'll ask one question, they'll show Magnum's response, they'll show Nikita's response, and then they have a get together afterwards with it. Very, very insightful on who Nikita Koloff is. I just think.
What's it called again?
It's My Side of the Story.
I'm going to find that on.
That I actually have the DVD of the Magnum Nikita, and Nikita goes into in depth about what made him go face when the car accident happened. It's a great series. So that's it. My number 9, Master of the Russian Sickle, Nikita Koloff.
All right, my number 9 has already been mentioned, and that's Ricky Steamboat. You couldn't hate the guy, and just phenomenal in-ring worker. I got a pleasure to meet him. And just what he is on screen is what he is in real life. He's just an absolute stand-up class act of a person.
Okay. Sleazy went with Roddy Piper.
Wow, I never had him on my list either.
I'm freaking like, that's right up my alley. Piper was a crazy son of a bitch that knew exactly how to rile up the audience and get him in the palm of his hand. Many workers that I enjoy pull from the same things that Piper did during his working days. Yeah, can't disagree with that.
No.
My number 9, Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy was just like, he saw something, he looked at it and said, I can jump off that. Or I think I can fly off that. He was like a modern day superhero to me growing up as a kid. So he gets my number 9. I know. And unfortunately, he actually should have been higher up there with me. And I'll go ahead and drag this out since Fatman's walking away. With all that I've been through and the demons that I face on the daily, I know that Jeff Hardy his have kind of caught up to him now. And for those that don't know, they're not that easy to get away from. You can get away from them for a little while, but they will creep themselves back into your life. You'll just be sitting there, and then all of a sudden, oh, hey, you're still a piece of shit that you were last time I saw you. And that's the self-talk that starts, and that's the demons that talk to you. And that's when you revert back to old habits, i.e., not in my case, but drug use, shutting off from the world. That is the one thing I do. And alcohol, which is another thing that I used to do that I really don't partake in much anymore. I just don't have the need. I did for the longest time, don't get me wrong. And the demons run throughout my family because my grandfather and my dad both had that issue. But, my demons are at bay for now.
The demons, I was lucky enough not to have that. I've had I have a grandmother and an uncle that were strong of addiction with alcohol. And luckily I saw it as a young age, so I know I didn't want any part of that. But it's like you said, if you let your guard down just like that, it can grab you. And the people like don't think it's a disease or it's a crutch or whatever.
I bite my tongue. I bite my tongue with that.
That's one thing. I mean, I haven't had that. I haven't had those demons, but I will say that it will find a way if you let it to sink its teeth back into you. So for everybody that's out there who's battled the demons, staying sober, keep up the good fight. And hey, just because you relapse doesn't mean you're a bad person. It can happen. You know, even the best of us get sick once in a while. Yep. All you have to do is get better and then go back with it. So,
okay, I'll do my number 8. Sleazy's gonna hate me. Undertaker.
Ooh, damn. Yeah, he is gonna hate you. He is gonna hate you.
At least he made the list.
Fair enough.
In the beginning of his career, he was as slow, methodical, menacing. But then, as he came along, he became a phenomenal in-ring performer. And what a character! There'll never be anything like the Undertaker.
I'll go with my number 8. Just talked about him with my number 9. My number 8 Magnum TA. Great matches. Had a great look. Had fantastic matches with Nikita Koloff in the best of 7. To me, the I Quit match with Tully Blanchard is just one of the best matches, storyline wise, back in the NWA days. Just what could have been, like you said, we said the second greatest tragedy next to Owen Hart, I think, in the sport of wrestling with that car accident. But he lived fast, lived on the end of that lightning boat, as I used to say. And Magnum TA with that, the original person that uses the belly to belly to finish. Magnum TA, number 8.
Okay, Sleazy went with Cesaro/Claudio Castagnoli.
Mark.
The man is really a machine, but if you only knew him for the WWE, there was so much more to him than just a swinging guy a bunch of times. His run on the Indies and ROH as a part of the Kings of Wrestling showed how good he was in-ring wise, but his work in Chikara and his Twitch streams show how funny the man is. I believe in another world, Cesaro would have been the best comedic wrestler in the world. Well, I guess that leaves me at number 8. Rob Van Dam. I followed him from ECW when I saw him hit the Van Daminator, and I was like, oh my God, that's one of the most powerful moves I've seen, even though I know it wouldn't be illegal in WWF or WCW. But, and here's the thing, Rob Van Dam never changed his character no matter wherever he went. Could have been Impact, could have been ECW, could have been WWE. He never changed character. He always stayed true to who he was. And that's why he's my number 8. Number 7. Who wants number 7? All right.
I'll go first with number 7 this time. Number 7 has already been mentioned, I believe, by Fatman. My number 7 is the Enforcer, AA Arn Anderson. Very, like you said, very underrated. Should have been a world champion. Just had that aura, that presence. Tag team specialist. I mean, you talk about his tag teams with Tully, with Ole Anderson as part of the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. Was the glue of a lot of stables. And I didn't know this. I was looking some stuff up. He was part of the Dangerous Alliance, of course, the Four Horsemen, part of the Heenan family when he was with the Brainbusters with Haku and Andre the Giant. He was part of the original Legion of Doom with Hawk, Animal, King Kong Bundy, Jake the Snake Roberts, Matt Bourne, part of the Stud Stable. So he has been probably the most underrated performer. He was the glue of the Four Horsemen, multiple tag champ, just all around. The injuries got him as well with the neck injury. But my favorite Arn Anderson moment is one with The Undertaker. I believe it was at WrestleMania when he was going up against Ric Flair. He snuck in the ring and did a spine buster to
huge pop.
Oh my gosh, that was great. You can just see him like he can do his. Oh, I just love Arn Anderson, and I actually love what he's doing in AEW, even though he's like back in the scene. But I think his knowledge is helping that product as much as it can be helped. I think so. Number 7, Double A, Arn Anderson.
All right, Fatman, go ahead.
This guy used to be my all-time favorite wrestler, but he went apeshit, killed his son, killed his wife. You know who I'm talking about, and that's Chris Benoit. He would have been number 1 on my list, probably number 2 actually behind number 1. And the guy was just couldn't talk worth a shit, but he knew how to tell a story in the ring. And his matches with Kurt Angle were just absolutely phenomenal. And I think Dietz is sending his list to us right now.
Is he?
No, he's not.
Okay. I'll go next, and then I'll follow it up with Sleazy's. My number 7 is Randy Orton. Let's see. He came in as Evolution with Rick, with Triple H, with Dave, and he was the new guy at that time. Wet behind the ears, still green. I mean, as green as a rookie can be. And then he started his own stable with Cody and Ted DiBiase Jr. And then since then, everyone else kind of stayed or like kind of arced up. Now Cody's really up there, but he kind of plateaued for a while. But Randy is just going up and up and up and up and up, up. I mean, I think seeing him be able to work with tag team partner after tag team partner after opponent after stable shows how versatile he is. And that's one thing that really catches my eye when it comes to wrestlers. So my number 7 is Randy Orton. Sleazy's number 7, Chuck Taylor. I must put the man who inspired a good chunk of my in-ring character on the list. Many of Chuck E. T's spots in Chikara.
Hold on. Your in-ring character, motherfucker, is me. Fuck you. You fucking Mark. Go ahead.
PWG and all over the Indies inspired me to be okay with being funny in a ring and ringside. From the classic grenade spots to the high-pitched squeal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. His gimmick is me, not his in-ring character. I apologize. Go ahead.
That I still do to this day. Few people can make me laugh harder in wrestling than him. So Chuck Taylor is Sleazy's number 7.
It seems to be a theme with comedy wrestlers.
Okay, who wants to go number 6?
I'll go.
All right, Fatman, go ahead.
This guy, when you think, I don't know about you, Chip, but maybe Heavy G will get this. When you hear the word associated with wrestling as class act, who do you think of right off the top of your head?
Wow. To me, it would be Ricky Steamboat, but class act, let me think.
Ric Flair?
No, not even maybe. Wow. We're talking NWA era?
We're talking the era, but we're not talking the company.
We talking WCW?
I'll just say it. Nick Bockwinkle.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, I was thinking something else, but yeah. Nick Bockwinkle.
This guy actually was one of the reasons why I fell in love with wrestling. Flair and the Dusty Rhodes, and then Nick Bockwinkle. This guy can cut a promo and use some big words. You can ask him what time it was, and he'll tell you how to make a watch. This guy is just and he was a great psychologist in the ring and an absolute fan favorite of mine to this day. One of the greatest world champions of all time. Love Nick Bockwinkle.
No, I agree. He was came out with Division One, came out with a suit and the tie with the championship belt with the AWA on ESPN. He faced a lot of other champions as well.
Made Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Made him.
I'll agree. I will agree.
Made him
100% on that. My number 6 is a current wrestler, one of the only two that I have. I loved him prior to WWE, loved him in WWE, and loving him now. That's Jon Moxley. I love his when his Dean Ambrose character was really good. I think they really messed him up when they turned him heel the same night that Roman announced he had leukemia. But when I noticed him in WWE, I started looking at his earlier stuff. Boy, can he just cut a promo and just edgy to where you have to pay attention.
He does it effortless.
Yeah.
People sit there like Roman Reigns when he first started, but you can tell they're trying or they're doing a scene.
His is just
off the cuff, improv. I mean, and it makes it real as ever. And he still does this day in AEW.
Oh yeah. I mean his old promos. I mean, one of my favorites is when he talks about leaving and taking the title and walking. You say, who are you going to get now? You're going to go through your Rolodex and try to find the best wrestler in the world, and I'm still going to be your champion. I mean, he is just amazing. And then the hardcore matches, when he won the CZW title. I mean, just an all around really solid performer. Nice to see him get another title run at AEW. Another one that has battled demons as well, Chip. When he went,
rehab.
Went through rehab, I think it was earlier this year.
Yep.
So, number 6, Jon Moxley.
All right, I'll go next. My number 6 is someone I didn't even know was wrestling years and years before I even found out who he was. He went by one name in one federation and went by another name in the rest of the federations. When I first found out about him, his name was Daniel Bryan. But I was corrected many times on this show by Fatman, by Sleazy, by Ryan, that his name is really Bryan Danielson.
Yep.
And the American Dragon still goes by that to this day. When I thought, me being naive as I was and not following other federations, I was like, oh, this guy's going to be really good. Come to find out he already was fucking good and just translated it to the WWE style and then was even fucking better. I got to see him win in New Orleans, both those matches, the first match and the last match, WrestleMania 30. That was the loudest I've ever heard any arena, and I've been to numerous sports games, and that's the loudest I've heard anyone ever cheer when he beat Triple H in the main event of WrestleMania 30. So my number 6, and I love seeing him with Dean in the Blackpool Combat Club, is Bryan Danielson. Fatman, we'll go with your number 6.
I already did my number 6.
Oh, did you? Oh, shit. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Did we get Sleazy 6?
That's what I'm getting ready to do.
Okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, the man that inspired a generation of hating your boss, has to be on this list. Gives the no fucks attitude, the concept of don't trust anybody, DTA, all the things that I loved when watching him. For fuck's sake, I was in a game because of him. What?
Yes.
I mean, you want to elaborate?
So okay, so but does he have any more things to say?
No, that
okay. So my number 5 actually is Stone Cold Steve Austin, but so that's funny. So there was me, Sleazy, and there was a couple other people. We weren't really like friends with them, but we all wore Stone Cold shirts, and we're like, hey, that's being like the DTA gang. Sleazy will tell it better because I don't remember all the details, but literally we call ourselves a gang. We were just wearing t-shirts, and literally the principal of the school is like, you can't be in a gang. So even if you're wearing the same t-shirts. So
that's
yeah.
Hilarious.
But yeah, my number 5 is Stone Cold Steve Austin. So that kind of tied in perfectly.
My number 5, another one that has known to battle demons throughout his life. To me, one of the greatest minds and storytellers, and can just make magic happen. in the ring, and that's Jake the Snake Roberts. You always remember his battles with Macho Man when he put the rattlesnake on Macho Man on Saturday night's main event, to having matches with Andre the Giant, and believable that you could think that Jake Roberts could beat Andre the Giant. Then he goes to WCW, has that big match with Sting, and I think WCW made a horrible mistake with that spin the wheel, make the deal. They couldn't have gotten a worse match than the coal miner's glove match. There were so many other great matches on that spin the wheel. I just think
if my
the
voice can
original
hold
Halloween
up,
Havoc.
Yep. I just think that hurt his run there. But to me, just as an ultimate heel, Jake the Snake Roberts is one of the best. Number 5, Jake the Snake.
if my voice can hold up, I could tell a story about that. So Jake Roberts came in. He pretty much got released from WWE and then signed a $1 million contract with WCW, but right before Bill Watts came in, or in the transition between Bill Shaw and Bill Watts. I think it was Bill Shaw. And Bill Watts hated Jake Roberts. He's like, you $1 million, ripped it up. I think he made like $150,000
cut him like
a year or something like that.
Yeah, cut his balls off. Yeah.
And then that coal miner's glove match, they gimmicked the wheel for that specific match.
Why would you do that? That was horrible.
Because it's WCW. Because they wanted, I think it was, they wanted to do a spot with Sting and the Snake, and Sting didn't want to touch the snake, so they wanted to use the glove, but then they switched it anyway because they just thought Jake getting bit by the snake was more apropos, so it wasn't even necessary. It was one of the many WCW stories.
Yeah, I mean, all like I said, all the matches that were on that wheel to have that. I mean, you had a casket match, you had a barbed wire match, and all the other sessions, lights out. I think just the absolute worst. The Texas Bull Rope, Spitter's Choice.
It was also in Philadelphia. What does a coal miner have to do? And what is so special about a coal miner's glove? It's just a fucking glove.
Yeah, well, the coal thing is a Pennsylvania thing, so I can see that possibly. But even though it's not really Eastern Pennsylvania, it's more of a Western Pennsylvania thing, and into West Virginia. But that's the only thing I can get from that.
I mean, Russian Chain, a dog collar match. Look at the 2 dog collar matches that's really much known. CM Punk versus MJF, which was great, but the first one, Valentine Piper. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, the I Quit match, which we talked about that before. Barbed wire cage match, even a Texas Death Match or a First Blood match would have been. I think your First Blood match would have been good because I don't think you really saw Sting lead up until that point.
Mm.
Okay, number 5 for Sleazy. I'm probably going to butcher this name, but Kikutaro. The man is a pure joy. I've watched every match I can get a hold of. He is the definition of a legendary comedic worker. Some of my favorite things about him is, unlike literally every guy that works under a mask, he will happily take it off and work as himself while having the mask at his side or doing photo ops without it on. My number 5, the Ultimate Warrior. He had his falling out with Vince in WWF. And then he disappeared for a long, long time. And then I was actually at WrestleMania 30 when he got inducted in the Hall of Fame. I was actually at that Hall of Fame. Actually, no, did I go to that one? I don't remember. But I was there, and then I remember driving back from New Orleans in Triple H about 2 o'clock in the morning, putting on Twitter that the Ultimate Warrior had just died. And I was like, literally, I just saw him on Raw the day before.
His speech on Raw, boy, was that prophetic. if you go back and listen to that and knowing it was going to die the next day,
yeah,
boy, it puts chills up and down your spine when you hear him talk.
It really does. So my number 5 is the Ultimate Warrior. And while you all have been talking and then going first, let me go ahead and give you number 4, another comedic actor from Sleazy, Ron, the Truth Killings, the top comedy guy in all of WWE. The man is so good at the comedic timing. This is true. I swear to God, he doesn't age, and he can still do this while still being in his 50s. Never mind the matches that he's had as a 2-time NWA champ. I love everything he does.
Thank you for that reference. That's it. That's all I got.
Ron the Truth Killer. I mean, one of Vince McMahon's favorite wrestlers, believe it or not. From his little Jimmy to going, yeah, and then I officially declare myself out of the road when he was in the ring with Brock Lesnar.
And I'm going to throw Paul Heyman out of the ring.
I did like the spot in the Royal Rumble one year where he grabbed a ladder. went to go climb up the ladder, and it's like, where is it? And then he's like, oh shit, wrong match.
He's phenomenal. Even when he was part of was it 2 Live crew? When he was with the NWA,
I think it's 3 Live.
3 Live crew with him. It was him, Conan, and he was the Road Dogg, but Brian Armstrong,
BG James,
and then they brought Kip in, but and then him really with the thing with Steamboat, he first challenged for the world title. You know, talking about that was a good promo from. If you want to hear a good promo from Ron Killing, that was where he talks about them and the color of his skin and stuff. Great promo with Ricky Steamboat in there. So yeah, Ron Killing's very underrated, I think.
I think he was one of the reasons that the Thunderdome works so well. He was like on every episode of Raw, and he carried everything because he was able to do it without the audience there. And he made it. I remember watching the first match. It was him versus Santos Escobar, I believe, right? Or no, I guess it was Andrade at the time. And it was the first match in Raw without the audience in the Thunderdome. And I was totally entertained the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's next? Me or did Fatman go?
Yeah,
I go number 4.
There you go.
My number 4, we already had talked about him. Vince McMahon's greatest character, The Undertaker. Locker room leader, was always the pulse of the locker room when he was there. Never jumped ship when everybody was taking the money grab at WCW. He stayed there. And Fatman mentioned it before, how he just evolved his character throughout his career. Like you said, the stoic, just non-selling, and then going and becoming the American badass, and then going back to the Ministry of Darkness, and then coming back again, and just unbelievable resilience. His performance at the Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber, where he got burned coming to the ring. If you see his coat was, I mean, he talked about that on Stone Cold's podcast about what happened with that. And he was pouring water on himself. You could actually see his skin bubbling while he was standing in the pod, and he was the last person to go in. So he is just a credit to the business. He's my wife's favorite wrestler. The Undertaker, number 4.
My number 4 is another guy that I didn't know existed until I came across this show and ran into these guys, these knuckleheads at WrestleMania 29. Kevin Steen / Owens.
He made your list. Bravo.
Oh yeah. He was definitely making my list. And oh my God, him and Sami Zayn last night. Oh,
I came.
I was going fucking nuts.
I came.
They're just so good on the mics together. Holy God. But anyways, before I knew after I found out who he was and where he came from, I watched Ladder Wars with him and Sami Zayn, and Jesus fucking Christ. That is
package pile driver, man.
On the ladder. Unbelievable.
Oh my God. Unfucking real. And anything he touches is gold, no matter how much they tried to screw him over in WWE. Right now, he is probably the best Kevin Owens I've seen in WWE. He's kicking ass, and he's doing basically a Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I liked his world title run, but
with the Universal title, that was.
But
that was good actually.
Also, I have to say it since you mentioned it. There's no way Jay Briscoe's winning the ROH world title.
Ryan, that was for you. Okay, number 4, Kevin Steen / Owens.
I have a question for you, Fat Man.
Yes.
Do you think his real life animosity with Jim Cornette helped his run in Ring of Honor? Didn't hurt.
No, it didn't. I don't think it hurt him because I know Cornette didn't like him, but
still doesn't.
But Adam Pearce did, and so did Gary. I don't think it was Gabe Sapolsky. I think it was Gary Silkin at the time.
Yeah, it was Gary Silkin.
He loved Kevin Owens also, and it just motivated him to be better. And
haters normally do that. They motivate you to outshine their expectations.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so my number 4 is he was on Raw last night, and he sucks.
It's damn true. It's damn true.
It's true.
It's Kurt Angle, man. That guy talking about he could be a badass, a great technical wrestler, but he can also not take himself too seriously. Always entertaining. I'll never forget that cowboy hats with Austin.
I was thinking that same thing.
Yeah.
Country song.
Yes.
Just absolutely. He's always entertaining.
And he's still fucking ripped. Jesus Christ.
He just had double knee surgery a few months ago too.
Yeah, he was taught. There was a talk about him coming back. I think the best part about, like you said, with my favorite part of Raw last night was when
the milk.
It was with Edge and him with the pictures again, with the going back to when he did it the first time. Man, you have to laugh at it because people are like, "What?" Like these younger fans, like what? But back then, to redo it and to still have the chemistry with those two, I thought it was fantastic.
You still suck. He did it again. Damn it, Edge.
It was phenomenal.
Okay, I guess I'll go with number 3 for Sleazy. Number 3, Kevin Steen / Owens. Personal biases aside, Kevin is once again the definition of having all the tools in the business. He can talk, he can be funny, he can be vicious, he can make guys look good, he can be a legit looking champion. He someday will be inducted in WWE Hall of Fame, I'm positive.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No argument there.
Yep, not at all. All right, who wants to be next?
I'll go. Mine's a cop-out. I have 2. And you'll see why. It's Bret Hart / Owen Hart. I lumped them together because as I am being a mark, that's my all-time favorite feud. Of just 100. I absolutely love that feud. It was the best thing in wrestling for years. Bret, man, he could tell a story. 93 King of the Ring was all about him. He was told by Pat Patterson not to win any matches with a sharpshooter. Figure out a way. So they incorporated him hitting his hand, stomped on by Razor Ramon the first match, and it paid off in the second match where he tried to go do the sharpshooter against Mr. Perfect and Perfect bent his fingers back. Just little nuances that Bret did was absolutely fantastic. And Owen was Owen. Owen, again, is like a Kurt Angle light. He can go. He can be doing comedy stuff. he never took himself too seriously. So I copped out, but I don't care.
Master Ribber.
Oh, yes. Best rib, no rib.
Yeah, I mean, it was the match between him and Brett when he did the victory roll.
WrestleMania 10.
Absolutely, like you said, brilliant storytelling. Those nuances really does the trick, and that goes to my number 3, Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels. Just the intricate, the selling, the knowing at the right time when to do stuff. His timing was impeccable. I know when I was watching him with his match when he passed out in the ring after he did his skin the cat. When they came in, they put the oxygen on him after it was Owen Hart. Was he?
Yep,
Was the wrestling Owen Hart?
It was Owen Hart.
He did the enziguri to the back of the head. Did the super kick. Did the throw him over the top. Did the skin the cat. People were calling the hospital and calling and inundating WWE headquarters with calls. Was never a tag champ with Marty Jannetty. I think they weren't they gonna give him the belts, and then they had the belts.
They taped it for a Saturday night's main event.
It was against the Hart Foundation,
Fort Wayne, Indiana. The top rope broke.
Right.
So, and it was a tape show. So instead of stopping the match, fixing the top rope, for some stupid reason, the referee made him wrestle. The match was garbage. It was released on one of those Bret Hart Shawn Michaels DVDs, actually. Yeah. And it was garbage. And they said they decided not to air it. So they never officially won the tag titles.
But just his storyline where he didn't need the title. Of course, WrestleManias with the 2 WrestleMania matches with the Undertaker. His one where he retired for the first time, Ric Flair. Quote unquote and air quotes. And then his feud with Chris Jericho when Jericho put him through the Geritron 3000, and then the storyline with Randy Orton where he couldn't use the Sweet Chin music as his finisher. His run with DX. I mean, just name his run, especially from after he comes back from his back surgery. I mean, he had a great run up until then, had the back surgery, another wrestler, Chip, that had to wrestle with demons, and comes through with flying colors. A guy that became a fantastic wrestler. Hate to see him wrestle his last match the way he did, but either way, HBK, my number 3.
My number 3 is, I think Fatman and Sleazy will appreciate it because he's actually wrestled at 2CW before. But I saw him wrestle Ric Flair at Thomasstone High School back in, I want to say 1989, 90 maybe. It was Too Cold Scorpio.
I knew you were going to, when you said the 80s, I'm like, it has to be Too Cold.
I saw this guy live. I fell in love with how athletic he was, the persona he had, and I followed him until I didn't know he actually was still wrestling. I thought he stopped. But I went to one of my all-time favorites, and I know he's not on anyone's list, and I'm so glad because he was a personal one that made me start watching WCW. Because when I bought tickets, I was like, I'd heard about wrestling, didn't know really what it was, or WCW was. I knew WWF was. I'd never seen a live event. So my dad took me, and I saw, Vader was there, Sting was there, Flair was there, Too Cold was there. And that, when I saw it live, I was hooked. And now, I've seen stuff in the future from then that wasn't as impressive live, being like a house show. But Too Cold Scorpio, number 3.
Yeah, Too Cold. When we saw him, it was 2014, 2015. The dude's still going. He is still making shows, dude. I think he was just in Excite a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago. The dude is still going, and he can still go in the ring. He hasn't slowed down. He was doing the flips and shit when we saw him. It was absolutely unbelievable. And I was just like, how is he still doing this? He didn't miss a beat. Nothing was off.
No, I think WWE did a disservice there with that flash fuck gimmick.
Okay, number 2 for Sleazy. Duh, it's Asuka. You knew this was coming. My all-time favorite women's wrestler. There is nothing she can't do. She is the gateway drug for many people to get into Joshi wrestling, despite her being so outspoken against it. She's a huge gamer, and from a pro wrestling standpoint, the best woman in the ring today. Don't laugh. I guess don't at symbol me.
Don't at me. Don't at me.
Oh, okay.
Don't at me, bro.
Okay. Oh, also, she is funny as hell, professionally in the promos as well as personally on Kana-chan TV.
Of course, he has to get that plug in because he's a butt plugger.
Oh, hey now.
My number 2 is Shawn Michaels. When he came back, I remember ordering SummerSlam. I remember I was in 2002. I was at my parents' house. I had like a little ass room, and I had like 5 of us jammed in there with one of those 12-inch screens, and we ordered the pay-per-view. And that match was absolutely fantastic with him and Triple H. He was better then than he ever was.
Yep. And
he was out 4.5 years. That's how great this guy was. He was better when he came back than he was before. And people praised him how great he was before. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And honestly, I think he still had a couple more years in him. But sometimes you just know. And you want to go on his own terms. But yeah, Shawn Michaels,
yeah,
absolutely fantastic performer.
Yeah, I think knowing he couldn't outdo his first WrestleMania match with the Undertaker. I mean, to me that would have been. I mean, the second one was fantastic as well. Great storytelling. I mean, like you said, just an extraordinary performer, and got better after the back surgery. My number 2 is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Just the most charismatic figure, and he wasn't one of those. Needless to say, he wasn't one of those body guys. The old school, getting blood here. You see the scars in the middle of his forehead. But what got me to love him was his Hard Times promo.
Hard times, brother. Hard times.
Wish I had a voice because I know that promo.
Oh yeah,
and I could do it in a dusty voice, but
I tried to do a Dusty Rhodes imitation, but I am horrible at it. But the textile workers can't buy the money, can't buy the food. When the guys working in the company 30 years, they give them a watch, kick on the button, say, "Sorry, Daddy, a computer is taking your job." That's just absolutely one of the great promos. I loved his Hall of Fame speech. He was like a preacher up there on the stage, but gave everybody their flowers when he was up there. So, Dusty Rhodes, his matches with Ric Flair, his basically 5-year run against the Horsemen.
So there was a very underrated aspect of his career that no one really talks about because of it was when Vince Sr. brought him up to New York and they feuded with superstar Billy Graham. Those matches were just brutal for that time. At Madison Square Garden, those 3 matches they had were just fantastic. And I liked when when they did the Dusty Rhodes DVD, the producer asked him, "Do you regret wearing the polka dots?" He's like, "Regret it. I made the most money in 18 months I ever did in pro wrestling wearing polka dots. So do I regret it? Absolutely not."
It took basically what I thought could have been a rib and turned it into, he invented the War Games match. He was another great mind in the business. Just
War Games hit, Lethal Lottery, not so much.
Well, not Lethal Lottery, but what about the promo when Ole Anderson turned on him? And he said, "Payback is hell, Daddy." Just a lot of great memories. My number 2, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
So for the first time in 2 weeks, Fatman gets to shit on me on the show. Because since Ryan's not here, I have to do it. My number 2, the original reason I marked out way back in the 80s was Hulk Hogan. Everything I loved about WWF back then was Hulk Hogan. I literally, when he turned in the NWO, I literally cried. That was the Bash at the Beach, one of the first pay-per-views I ever bought. And I literally cried my eyes out. Call me a bitch, call me what you want. I was probably like...
You know what? I'm not going to. Because that instills that you have passion. And that the reaction that they wanted was anger and cry. And this did exactly that. And it worked.
My gosh.
I'm not going to... Dude, I've cried at wrestling before. So I'm not ashamed. And you shouldn't be ashamed either, dude.
Oh, no, I'm not ashamed of it at all. So my number 2, and he went from the All-American to being a bad guy, back to All-American, to a positive side of Hollywood Hogan. He's done it all. And I will never forget one of my favorite memories. I was live in New Orleans when he said,
Silverdome.
"Welcome to the Silverdome." And I looked at my wife at the time. I said, "Did he just say Silverdome?" She's like, "Yeah."
And he
kept going it. And I was like,
"You were also there when he said MetLife Center when they had giant MetLife Stadium signs all around him."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the dude's
his senility is kicking in.
Well, he's also had 10,000 back surgeries. He's probably high as fuck on pills. But
that is true. So my number 2, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Hulk when he turned NWO. He was NWO when he had his match with The Rock, and there were just as many people chanting for him as there was for The Rock.
That was pretty cool.
That was to show you what his draw was as a performer. That's one thing I wanted to say about Dusty Rhodes. I never liked him in the NWO. Dusty Rhodes is not a heel. Even though he was a heel at the beginning.
That was so dumb. It made no sense.
That's when everybody was part of the NWO. That's when half the roster was NWO.
Half the roster, whole the fucking roster was.
True.
The only one
They
was
either black
DDP.
and white or red and black.
Yeah.
I still don't understand what the end game was of the NWO. I really don't. I want to ask Eric Bischoff.
And that's kind of
what is the end game? They said they're going to make their own TV show, but what was the end game? NWO versus NWO. It would have made sense. It does not make sense. I don't care.
And then you look at it because the Bullet Club and NJPW, there's so many different break-off factions from the Bullet Club, and it's like, well, what's the end game here? You had the original Bullet Club, you had the Gorillas of Destiny, which is part of the Bullet Club. You have House of Horror, which is part of the Bullet Club. And it's just like, I don't know. I when you sit there and you start off all these break-off factions, you lose the angle and the goal of what you had in place. And I think that's what's happened with the Bullet Club. Because the Bullet Club has turned into the NWO in JPW.
Only you can shoehorn in a Bullet Club reference.
Well, it's literally the same damn thing. But yes, you are right. I am the only one. Well, let's see. We got the AEW Mark and Brandon. We have the Impact Wrestling Mark and Ryan and you now. And then we have WWE you. And then we have Impact. I mean, not Impact. Chikara for Sleazy. Me and JPW. And now Heavy G and WA. I think we have literally all the federations covered now.
My number 1, could there be anyone else, is Ric Flair.
Woo!
Thank you. That's it. It's Ric Flair.
I'm lockstep with Fatman on this. I mean, his one of his promos. I mean, I could recite a lot of his promos word for word, but just with him, I mean, just the legendary matches. If you think about my top 10, he had feuds with number 2, Dusty Rhodes. Later career, number 3, HBK. We already said he had this great match against The Undertaker. He was with Arn Anderson, but then Arn Anderson, I think it was at Fall Brawl, where he had that match against
it's a very underrated match that not many people talk about. Arn Anderson literally threw up in a trash can before the match because I never thought I'd have a match with Ric Flair, my best friend, and it's making me sick.
Right.
I mean, the storyline behind it was absolutely garbage, but at least we got a match.
Yeah, that and the ending with frickin' Pillman coming out and kicking Flair in the back of the head, that kind of sucked. Had matches with Magnum TA, Nikita Koloff, Ricky Steamboat. I mean, he had matches basically with 7 of the other 9 of my list. With the last match notwithstanding, I'll give him a pass because of all of his other prior great things he did in the ring. But Ric Flair, if number 1 isn't Ric Flair, I
know what Sleazy's is. I'm not sure whose Chips is. So again, it's everyone's preference.
Mm-hmm.
Sleazy's a common wrestling guy, so I shouldn't have him before, but I understand.
So it's kind of funny you two would have the same one.
Did you and Sleazy have the same one?
Because me and Sleazy have the same number 1.
The Undertaker.
It is The Undertaker. I'll give you his reason. This has to be here. Deadman was the reason I am a fan of pro wrestling today. For so long, he was the sole constant in professional wrestling. He was revered, he was prolific, and he was the attraction every single time he came to the ring. The streak was legendary. His entrances gave you goosebumps, and man, the man could really work despite his size. His dedication to kayfabe all these years is something I keep to my heart as well in the business. To add on to that, yes, it was The Undertaker for me. From him coming out at Survivor Series to him in WrestleMania 9, going in Caesar's Palace through the Chariot to go face Giant Gonzalez when he was at the United Center and the lightning bolt hit the urn from the top of the arena. The entrances were amazing. I've seen him quite a few times live. I was there when the streak was broken. You could hear a pin drop in that motherfucking arena. I like how in wrestling I've seen throughout the years, in someone's career, they go full circle. They start out as a heel, they end as a heel in a lot of cases. Well, The Undertaker ended up at the end, in his last match, he incorporated the Deadman in with the American Badass all in one. And I was like, that's fucking genius. Two of the roles you were most known for in your career, and you're going to wrap them into one person and be able to take it out like that. I mean, the two number ones that could be number ones were Ric Flair and The Undertaker. You two chose Ric Flair. Me and Sleazy chose The Undertaker.
I mean, you go through his when he had that 21-0 streak. You go through some of the names. Do you know what his first one was?
Jimmy Snuka.
Yep. Hall of Famer Jake Roberts.
Giant Gonzalez.
Oh,
King Kong Bundy.
Yep.
Diesel. Sid.
Did you have it up too?
Huh?
Did you have it up too?
No, it's off the top of my head.
Okay, who was 8?
WrestleMania 8?
No, WrestleMania. It was WrestleMania 15. His 7th match was Kane. Who was number 8?
That was the shitty ass Hell in a Cell match with Big Boss Man.
Number 9.
Triple H.
Number 10.
Flair.
Number 11.
It was Big Show and fucking A-Train.
Number 12.
Kane.
13.
Orton.
14.
Mark Henry.
15.
I was there live. Batista.
16.
Edge.
17,
Michaels,
18,
Michaels,
19,
Triple H,
20,
Triple H.
21.
I was there live, CM Punk.
And then he lost. And then who did he win?
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt, 32.
We were there live. Hell in a Cell match. It's Shane McMahon.
Yep.
33.
Lost to Roman Reigns.
34.
I got to remember that. Hold on. Wait. Oh, they're live. John Cena.
Yep.
And number 30, I am thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, that was impressive as hell, dude.
I didn't think you'd get both the A-Train and the Big Show.
He doesn't know who I am.
You realize you were talking to a wrestling encyclopedia. For those of you who don't know what an encyclopedia is, you fucking millennials, encyclopedia is what we used to learn our information from. We didn't have Google. We had something called Encyclopedia Britannica. It was a book.
It was more. It was like multiple books.
26 of them.
Like 26 or 30 volumes.
Where we had to actually go page by page in order to. Well, Fatman G is the wrestling encyclopedia of the wrestling show.
I'll throw Ryan in there also.
No, yeah, you haven't done a show with Ryan yet. If he ever comes out of rehab, that dude's fucking ingenious as well.
All right, guys, that's our top 10. We've been going for damn little over an hour. I didn't think that'll be that long. So let's take a quick break. I got to get more water. We'll do news and rumors and do a really quick rundown of the two shows. So we'll be back in about 30 seconds. We are back. Let's do news and rumors real quick. Buff Bagwell is going to be joining Sleazy and Ryan in rehab because he did relapse when he's working with DDP. That's sad to hear. Hope he gets well.
Did you see DDP's post about that?
Oh, I skimmed it.
Oh, he just seemed so heartbroken. He just seemed devastated that Buff Bagwell went back with the relapse. But yeah, hope he gets better. A decent talent, but hope he battles the demons and comes out on top this time.
Yep. Speaking of NWA, the former NWA president Howard Brody has passed away. More sad news: Joe Doring is leaving Impact to battle brain cancer for the second time.
Oh, damn it!
Yeah, that
sucks.
Battle by the sun.
That really does suck. We hope he does get better. He's staying very positive about that, so that's good. WWE is considering adding the Performance Center as a tourist attraction, and that's now starting rumors of a possible physical Hall of Fame being built on the site. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Full Sail University.
It's not Full Sail. It's the Performance Center.
It's a totally different building, is it?
Yeah. Full Sail's on the campus. WB built the Performance Center.
Oh. I don't see for why not. I mean, they kind of take the Hall of Fame to every WrestleMania as it is, and they have it in the Access. So why not?
Thank you for that segue. WWE is renaming Access to WrestleMania Fan Experience.
Fair enough.
Braun Strowman's rumored to be returning to WWE.
Mm-hmm. I heard that's a big rumor.
Well, he is dating Raquel Gonzalez.
Rodriguez.
Or Rodriguez. Why did I get Raquel Gonzalez?
That's just what she was before.
Yeah.
She was Raquel Gonzalez in NXT when she came up to the main roster.
WWE rehires Santana Garrett to work as a coach at the Performance Center. That's awesome. So Velveteen Dream.
I was just gonna say. Go ahead.
Was arrested August 26th in Florida for an out-of-county warrant for possession of drug paraphernalia. A search of court records in the state of Florida reveals that this is not the first time the Clark has been arrested this month. According to court records, Clark was also in custody on August 20th by the Vandal Police Department for first-degree battery and trespassing on property after a warning. Both these offenses were classified as misdemeanors for the first degree. On August 22nd, Clark posted a bail of $1,200 and entered a not guilty plea. The arraignment hearing for the charge has been brought against him is scheduled to take place on September 28th. However, that court hearing has been listed as canceled. According to the records, the victim in the case has requested their identity not be revealed. The only other instance of Clark's name appearing in court records was a traffic violation in March of 2021. And this is off the heels of him teasing that he wants to come back to WWE.
How far Patrick Clark has fallen from MCW to whatever he is now.
Well,
he was one of the biggest.
No,
he was one of the biggest draws in MCW, and when I saw he was at the Performance Center and he had signed, I was just like, "Oh my God, this is awesome for MCW." It shows what they can do, and he had to be a total idiot.
Did you guys hear what Vince Russo said?
He's working for USA or something?
He's been secretly working for USA for the past 2 years as a consultant to WWE.
Oh, no wonder. Okay. That makes sense.
I call bullshit 100%. No one from USA has confirmed nor denied it. And this is the first time that Russo's lied. So I'm not, that doesn't surprise me. I think he's full of shit. I think he's just trying to make a headline for his podcast.
Probably.
One more. I got to talk about the AEW mandatory meeting that happened last Wednesday.
Oh, tampering?
According to...
Fuck, Dave. No, sure. Hey, we haven't said that all day.
AEW had a mandatory meeting. Tony Khan was fired up about it. Tony Khan discussed the company plans to grow the talent relations and developmental team. That's according to Mike Johnson. Quote, the access to court. This is from Fightful. They got 4 different sources here. This is why I think is all bullshit. According to Fightful, the access to Tony Khan was also addressed as the rumors of miscommunication and lack of access to him has emerged. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks has said and made it clear that their door is always open and that they can be reached for concerns as well. Oh, wait, this is amounts to this Mike Johnson, but anyway, fuck Dave Meltzer anyway. Khan also made it clear that AEW is in an industry that, quote, that has long been dominated by WWE and that he had to put everything into it to make things better for the talent. Khan also stated that right before the meeting took place, the chief legal officer of the company, effectively the number 2 in the promotions hierarchy, sent an email to WWE's Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon warning them not to tamper with his talent. I call bullshit on the tampering part.
Who would they have been tampering with?
Apparently it's Jericho, which makes no sense because WWE in the past has reached out to Jericho to be on Austin's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So...
and Tony Khan had no problem with it.
No, so I call bullshit on that. So the real purpose of the meeting was for Tony Khan to have a talent-only meeting in AEW to pretty much tell his talents or to tell WWE not to tamper with his talents. Think about that for a second. Tony Khan called a mandatory AEW meeting to tell WWE not to tamper with his talents.
He's just putting himself over.
It makes no sense. How's word going to get to WWE? The email thing is bullshit 100%. I don't think I think he just says that. I think they're just pretty much passive aggressive saying if WWE contacts you, don't answer. But that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. How much coke was Tony Khan on during this meeting? Because I'm going to tell another company in an AEW, I'm going to address another company, or I want to get information to another company. The best way to deal is through my talent and not the other company. It's fucking stupid.
We never said he was the brightest business.
He don't person. Know. He don't know his ass from his elbow.
This has got WCW all over.
We'll talk about that soon. All right, guys. This I'm going to paper toss this, but we're not done yet.
Rapid fire.
We have 2 shows to cover. One of them comes out the day of the show. The other comes out the day after. So here we go.
Wait, what? I thought that was 1 p.m. was going to be live.
It is. One of the shows is coming out the day of our show.
Oh.
And the other one's coming out the day after.
AW Sunday night?
It's Sunday night because football's not on yet.
That's right.
So Clash of the Tassel takes place today, September 3rd, at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff, Wales. 6 matches have been announced. Edge and Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day.
It's Judgment Day, and Dominic's going to turn on Edge and Rey.
Yep, I think that's another guy that's never turned heel in WWE, Rey Mysterio. I agree. They've been trying to find a way to get Dominic to turn, and I think this is where it's going to be done. Judgment Day wins.
Chip has been saying this literally for months, and this is the first time I could be like, I can see that.
Especially after Raw last night.
I can see that. Yep. So I think that's what's going to happen. Dominic's going to turn, and Judgment Day is going to win. Oh, this match is going to be fucking brutal. Gunther defends the Intercontinental title against Sheamus.
Oh, God. There's not going to be any skin left on either of them by the time this is over.
Sheamus will be
Gunther
red.
retains.
I think Gunther retains also.
I think Gunther retains as well. I mean, I'd like to see Sheamus get it back, but I think Gunther retains as well.
Actually, Sheamus has never been Intercontinental Champion. So,
but they're in the UK.
Wait, who did when Daniel Bryan beat him in? Or was that for the US title?
So the US title.
Okay.
This match is also going to be fucking bangers. Matt Riddle, he got his first name back versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Man, I've never seen Riddle that hot in the whole time he's been in WWE. He wasn't even that hot ever in UFC. Man, Seth Rollins hit a note with him.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, you don't involve the man's family and his personal divorce and all. Man. I thought he was going to rip through that screen and beat the hell out of Seth Rollins right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
So he did his job.
Yep. He did.
Who wins?
Riddle.
Yep, I think Riddle.
I think Riddle as well, but can I just say, is there a better heel in the business right now than Seth Rollins?
Yes.
Oh.
We'll talk about him later.
All right. Okay, best heel in WWE.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and some Asian versus. Wait, I didn't do my bit. Bianca Belair, Alexa. I haven't done that in a while, and some Asian versus Bailey, Dakota Kai, and another Asian. Sleazy's going to come all over this match. I think Bailey pins Belair.
I did too, and it's going to set up for a match.
Title match.
Yep. I can see that.
And my wife will be excited because she hates Bianca Belair.
She's grown on me. If you listen, when she was in NXT, I didn't think she could work for shit, but she's improved a lot in the ring. Who'd you think, Heavy G?
I think the same, but I would not be surprised if I'm gonna say something weird here. I think Alexa turns and goes with Bailey and Dakota and Io Scott.
I don't, because there's going to be a reason why. It may not happen on the show. I think Naomi and Sasha, whenever they come back, are going to team with Bailey and Dakota Kai and Io Sky. That's what I think. Right. SmackDown Women's Championship, Liv Morgan defends against Shayna Baszler.
Guess Liv. Baszler's just been, ever since they brought her up for NXT and she broke away from Nia Jax, she's been nothing.
Ever since she started a pandemic, she's been nothing. I'm actually think they're going to give it to Baszler. Or they're going to turn, or Morgan's going to do something heelish to retain, and the fans already turned on her for what I don't know why. Just cause, but yeah.
Can you see them giving it to Shayna Baszler so you can have Ronda Rousey go up against her?
No.
I can see that. Or
I can see that.
I can see that. Or what about Sonya Deville?
They'll both be heels, so I don't think that'll work too well. Damn, Rosas getting their asses spanked. What else is new?
But like you said, if Liv Morgan does the heelish thing, if they pull a double turn and pull Shayna as a face.
There is no way a double turn could work in that match. I just don't see it happening.
Now with Baszler.
I can see Ronda becoming face.
No, they just turned.
No, they don't like her. Was just
they just turned her at SummerSlam. Why would they turn her quickly?
Yeah, they don't like the fact that they feel like she's privileged. I think with all like the title shots and everything else. So.
Okay, main event. Singles match for the Undisputed WWE Championship. The best heel in the business, Roman Reigns, defends against Drew McIntyre.
Thoroughly disagree with that. That's just my opinion.
Who's gonna go?
I think the way it's set up. It's set up for Drew McIntyre win. That's why I'm saying it's going to be Roman Reigns.
I think Karrion Kross is going to cost Roman Reigns and then set up Karrion and Drew at the next pay-per-view.
I think Drew's going to win. Karrion Kross is going to attack Drew. Austin Theory's going to come down and cash in Money in the Bank.
And you use his right name.
And walk out with one or both the belts. That's what I'm thinking is happening.
I can see that.
Yeah. Or I can see Karrion Kross getting involved and maybe a triple threat.
No, they won't do that. Well, I mean, I don't know. Shit. I think they're going to want this as Roman and Drew off the bat, and then put some stank on it towards the end.
Or to go with what Fatman said, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre wins with the help of Karrion Kross.
No, McIntyre wins clean.
Ooh.
After the match, Karrion Kross attacks McIntyre, and that's when Austin Theory cashes in.
I can see that with Drew. Okay, Drew winning clean, Karrion Kross coming down to attack Drew. Austin Theory comes down to cash in Money in the Bank. Karrion Kross decks him. Fatal 4-way for the next pay-per-view.
No, I don't see that. I mean,
that would be a way.
No, because I think they're going to roll with Theory and Gargano, unless they're going to add it to the show. But I don't see a 4-way. I mean, it's possible. I'm supposed to be going to that pay-per-view, but obviously with my health problems, I may not. It's in Philadelphia.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were going to Cardiff. I'm like, wait, what?
No. The next pay-per-view, Extreme Rules.
Yeah, I know. I just talked to my boss. I might have that day off, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, we haven't got tickets yet, obviously. I'll talk to Sleazy about it and see what I can do, but I'm strapped for cash right now. That's the 6 matches. So, yeah, I can see a really good show. WWE's been great shows.
Yeah, they've been doing really good as of late. Like my wife, who like occasionally will watch wrestling when we have pay-per-view parties at the house. Now all of a sudden she's like, "Hey, let's go watch Raw." I'm like, okay. And she's thoroughly entertained by it too. I love it.
All right. Last show. We'll get this done quick. All Out. What's going to be 9,000 hours because fucking AEW. TBS Championship. Jade Cargill versus Athena. Jade retains. LOL.
Oh no, I think Athena's going to get it.
Jade. I think Jay's going to win that.
Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
Starks.
Starks
should win. Jumbo Boy versus Christian Cage.
Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy.
AEW World Tag Team titles. Swerve in Our Glory defends against the Acclaimed because ? Swerve in Our Glory retain.
Yep.
The Acclaimed's fucking terrible.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Daniel Bryanson versus Chris Jericho. And yes, I did say it.
I know you did.
I know you did on purpose.
American Dragon.
Danielson with cattle mutilation.
Jericho's winning with the help of Daniel Garcia.
Oh, yeah.
Casino Battle Royal, winner gets a future AEW World Title match. None of the participants have been announced. So skip it. Four-way
Hangman
match.
Page.
Yep, that seems about right.
Didn't he win last year?
I don't remember. No, he was the AEW champ last year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Four-way match for the interim. Why can't they just strip these fucking people of titles?
Yeah.
Stop using this is dumb. It's dumb. We already did a fucking 20-minute segment when fucking they did it with fucking the world title, and I gotta do it again. It's the absolutely fucking stupidest thing in the fucking world.
Yep. Thanks to UFC for that shit.
Tony Storm versus Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida. We already know who Sleazy wants to win. I'm going with Tony Storm.
I'm going with Hayter.
I'm going with Britt Baker.
I think Storm's winning because it's supposed to be Storm and Thunder Rosa, and I think Storm's going to win anyway. Why change it?
Why not make a tag team between Storm and Thunder Rosa and call them Thunderstorm?
Didn't they do that?
I don't know.
They did.
Yeah, they did. That's what they're called.
Oh.
There's a chick called Thunderstorm.
Oh.
Six-man tag because we'll have two of those on the show.
Trios.
Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. This could be great. And then the AEW Trios title. I'm sorry. We didn't do predictions. Wardlow and FTR.
Wardlow and FTR.
With AEW's recent booking, I'm going to say Jay Lethal and Motor City Machine Guns.
It's really nice to see Motor City Machine Guns again.
I don't know.
Well, if you watch Impact.
Well, I've been a little busy lately. I've been having weddings on Thursdays. I've been dealing with.
Who works, honestly?
FTR was removed from the video game.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
That's why I don't see them putting him over. I see them losing to Lethal and Motor Machine Gun.
And then we have the finals of the Trios World Championship. Don't know the teams yet. Oh, the pre-show.
Isn't it the Elite?
Oh, it is. It's the
Elite versus
Aussie Open and Will Ospreay.
Right.
Oh, yes.
There's your match of the night.
Great.
Oh, wait.
That's going to be great.
There's your match of the night.
No, it's not. It's happening. It's happening on Dynamite tomorrow. The Elite versus United Empire, and then on Rampage, it's the Dark Order versus Best Friends. They have a Dynamite bracket and a Rampage bracket, so it's going to be the Elite versus Best Friends.
But that match,
the Elite wins.
The match with the Elite and the United Empire.
That's good.
That's going to be good,
man.
I just want to see Kenny and
Ospreay.
Will go at it. I wish they could have put that on All Out.
The pre-show match is Tomohiro Ishii versus the King of the two-star match, Eddie Kingston. Notice
that's going to be hard hitting.
Notice there's no world title match on here yet.
You think they're going to run it back?
Yeah, I do.
That's WWE booking right there.
That's it, guys.
Kingston wins.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, guys. That's it for the show. Excuse me. Let's do some plugs.
All right. I'll go. The Best Darn Sports Show Period 2 going live at 9 o'clock on Thursday on our Twitch channel. Make sure you follow the Best Darn Sports Show Period 2 on Facebook. That way you can find out what channel it's going to be on. We are going to be talking some golf, some League World Series. A Washington Commander got shot, and they're talking about him still being able to play this season. And we're also going to have our inaugural Best Darn Sports Show Period 2 Fantasy Football Draft live on our Twitch channel. You can follow me, which I have been actually putting more on Twitter lately, at the Sports Guru 728, and you'll also see me put on some. I actually got to put a live recording after the fifth take after I watched the final for the G1 Climax. Like I said, if you get a chance, go back and watch the last 3 nights of the G1 Climax. One of them is 8 matches, all G1 Climax, the end of the block pool. Second night is the last half is going to be the semifinals, followed by the finals on the next night. All 3 nights were some fucking phenomenal wrestling. And if you guys get a chance tomorrow night, I know you don't get to see him that often. For those of you that don't watch in JPW, watch Will Ospreay, and that's what I'm going to leave you with.
I'm also on the Best Darn Sports Show Period 2. You can catch my player, Jesse, on simulationfootball.net. It's the first controllerless esport. Join up. You can watch. You can go from the couch to the field. That's one of our many slogans here. Come to simulationfootball.net. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're on Dish Network. So catch us there. I'm going to be working on some individual stuff here coming up in the next couple weeks, so I'll be able to plug some individual stuff.
All right, Grace. Great. You can catch us, facebook.com/Sleazy the Fatman, at Sleazy Fatman on Instagram and the Twitter. I'm at TJ's Fatman. Fuck Sleazy. He's in rehab. Onlyfans.com/The Wrestling Show. You can find us live on Twitch, 9 o'clock, roughly-ish, Tuesdays, and listen to this. I'm going to try something next week. Maybe do live on Facebook also, and also on Twitch to see how that works. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I'm going to test it out. And then Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. on the Gear Network. They're a great group of guys. So I thank you for Heavy G for coming on for the second week in a row. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the new Sleazy, the Mark, the soon-to-be rehabber, Chip. This is the Fat Man. Thank you guys for everyone for listening. Fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Dan Omega. A hot dog's not a sandwich. A sub's not a sandwich. And Sleazy needs to get out of rehab soon. I can't keep holding the show up with my voice the way it is. And that's probably why my voice is going, because I'm just exhausted. But anyway, fuck you, Sleazy.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun. I'm the pain in the game. The bloodshed in your name. When there's nothing to gain, I'm the world gone
sad. The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.